Episode 4, The In-Between. The motor lodge room had 2 beds, a scarred pine dresser, and a painting of seashells hung a hair off-level on the wood-panelled wall. By the second night, Gabe Patton had stopped seeing any of it except the bed by the door. Not empty, exactly. Made up tight, the chenille spread pulled drum-smooth the way his dad left it every morning before first light. But at this hour, it sat untouched, while somewhere out across the dark sprawl of Myrtle Beach, his father was 3 stories up in the bones of a half-built hotel, hanging drywall by the glare of work lamps, breathing chalk. Gabe lay on the other bed with the gooseneck lamp casting a yellow circle on the ceiling, and listened to the air conditioner rattle and the ocean beneath it. A long, slow shush he was still getting used to. Back home in Gate City, the night sound was crickets and the far-off groan of coal trucks downshifting on the grade. Here it was, salt and surf, and the buzz of 100 neon signs he couldn't see from the bed. He'd done his part of the settling. The 2 cardboard boxes were unpacked, his clothes in the bottom 2 drawers, his dad's in the top, the way they always sorted it. His trip diary sat squared on the nightstand, near full now, every page crowded with his small, careful printing, mile markers, license plates, the names of towns and what they meant. The Kodak hung from the lamp by its strap. He'd already shot half a roll of the strip. The orange Union 76 globe, the snarling neon tiger on the arcade, a row of motel signs whose bulbs spelled words with letters missing. VAANCYPOL. Numbers were the thing that steadied him, always had been. The way US 76 had run right alongside a Union 76 station at the grill where they'd stopped. 2 of the same number set down side by side like the world winking at him. Most folks thought it was peculiar, the way a boy could go quiet and lit up over a pattern of shadows or the angle of a roof against the sky. His mama just smoothed his hair and said he saw the seams in things. Gabe figured that was about right. The world was stitched together from numbers, and nobody else seemed to want to read the stitching. His mama. He let himself think of her for a minute, since there was nobody to see. She'd stayed in Gate City. Somebody had to, she'd said, with the mind letting men go and the bills not caring. She'd taken extra shifts at the shirt factory, standing at the line running collars under the needle until her back gave out, and she'd kissed Gabe's forehead and told him to mind his daddy and keep his diary and not let the ocean carry him off. He'd nodded like it was nothing. Now, in the rattling dark, her absence sat on his chest like a stone, small, smooth, always there, his tongue forever finding the gap the way it found a missing tooth. The door scraped a little past 11. His dad came in gray. That was the only word for it. Gray dust ground into the creases of his neck and the backs of his hands, gray in the lines of his face, his work shirt stiff with it. He smelled of chalk and sweat and the Bengay he rubbed into his shoulders. He set his lunch pail on the dresser quietly, thinking Gabe asleep, and stood a moment just breathing. A big, tired man at the end of a long day's reaching over his head. "I'm up," Gabe said. "You ought not be." But his dad's voice had no edge to it. He lowered himself onto the made bed and worked one boot off, then the other, slow. "Wall's coming along. Whole east wing closed in by Friday, foreman says. If the board holds out." He said it the way another man might say he'd written a poem. There was pride in it, plain and unembarrassed. Gabe watched him in the lamplight and felt the thing he always felt and never had the words for. His dad was not a soft man. He called Gabe Gabriel when he was vexed, and son when he wasn't, and he didn't say much that wasn't useful. But Gabe had watched him take work no other man on the crew would take, and take it without complaint, and do it cleaner and faster until the foreman started saying Patton like it meant something. And Gabe understood the way you understand a thing in your body before your head catches up, that this was a kind of armor his father was building, Out here they didn't quite know what to make of the Pattons. Too dark for some folks' liking, not dark enough for others. A name that didn't sort neat into the columns this part of the world kept. And a man who couldn't be sorted had to give them something else to look at. Work was that something. Be the best hand on the job, and they'll forget to wonder what you are. His dad had never said it in those words. He didn't have to. Gabe had watched him live it across 3 states. "Daddy," Gabe said, "did anybody, at the site, anybody give you trouble?" His dad was quiet a second too long. "Folks are folks," he said finally. "You give 'em a fair day, and most of 'em give it back. The ones that don't." He lay back on the spread, still in his clothes, an arm over his eyes. "You let it slide off. You hear me? You don't give 'em the satisfaction of a reaction. That's how we get by. Heads down, hands busy, and don't let nobody catch you needing their good opinion." "Yes, sir." "Your mama'd want you in bed." "Yes, sir." But Gabe didn't move yet, and neither did his dad fuss at him, and the two of them lay there a while in the yellow light with the ocean going on outside, and Gabe thought that was about as close to a conversation as they got, and that it was enough. When his dad's breathing slowed and evened out, Gabe reached over and clicked off the lamp. He didn't sleep right away. He lay in the dark with the surf working, and his hand found, the way it sometimes did, the dog-eared comic on the nightstand. Superman. Read so many times the cover had gone soft as cloth. He couldn't see it now, but he didn't need to. He knew every panel. The mild grey man who pulled his shirt open to the blue and red underneath. The disguise, everybody called it. The glasses, the slouch, the dull job. The real him hidden under it. But tonight, lying in a strange room in a strange town with his father grey and asleep beside him, Gabe turned it over and saw it the other way around. The cape wasn't the truth and the suit the lie. They were both costumes. The fellow spent his whole life in one disguise or another, deciding each morning which face the world could stand to see. That was the part nobody put on the cover. That was the part Gabe knew by heart. He thought about Gate City, where he'd been too brown for the white kids and too pale for the colored kids, and so had mostly been nobody. A question with no clean answer. A boy who learned young to go quiet and small and let folks' eyes slide on past. He thought about how good he'd gotten at it. How tired he was of being good at it. What would it be like, he wondered, lying there, to wake up one ordinary morning and just be himself? No deciding which face to wear. No holding his breath while somebody looked too long and tried to file him under something. To pull the shirt open and have the same thing underneath as on top, all the way down. He didn't know. He'd never once had the chance to find out. Outside the window, a sign he couldn't read from the bed buzzed and flickered and held. Gabe closed his eyes to the sound of the sea, an in-between boy in an in-between town, and waited for a sleep that was a long time coming.